PPS 10D, identify structural, cyclical, and frictional unemployment. There is another one called seasonal as well, which I'll cover. Structural unemployment is pretty much when advances in technology or like, let's say, the mechanical arm comes about and knocks out a whole line of assembly workers, and they are structurally unemployed. Also, if their skills do not meet the jobs that are available, for that time, the people can't find a job because they're not good at what jobs are available. That's known as structural unemployment. Structural unemployment. Frictional unemployment would be people between jobs. If Bill is between jobs, he gets fired from his accounting job, but then he goes and gets a job at another accounting job, but he's unemployed for a month. That month he's known as being frictionally unemployed, or between two jobs. Also included in frictional unemployment would be a woman, let's say, that takes time off voluntarily from her job to raise her children, and then comes back to work during that time. She is known as frictionally unemployed. Seasonal unemployment occurs like Oktoberfest. When it's over, the people would be seasonally unemployed if they lost their jobs during that time. But the main way that they'll use seasonal unemployment is during tax season after April 15th, and the accountants go back, or let's say they go to back to being unemployed. They would be seasonally unemployed, but during the tax season they are employed. So that's the one they love to use on the EOCT. Cyclical unemployment is the big one. This is the doozy, and what happens is, if you can imagine a slinky that when you let it go, it just kind of spirals down like this. When you hold the slinky up like straight at people, it's shaped as a circle. Okay, so you would have, it would look like this, but when you let it go, it coils straight down. Cyclical unemployment is you would have low consumer confidence or low consumer spending. Which leads to low profit and demand, low demand. So it tells businesses to stop making as much. Therefore, they don't need as many workers, so they lay off workers. Okay, those workers are now unemployed, cyclically unemployed. All right, which means that they have even lower consumer spending, which leads to even lower profit, which more workers are laid off, which is more cyclical, and it just continues to spiral down. And it was not stopped. That was usually those cyclical unemployment is caused or a symptom of a recession or a depression. During the Great Depression, cyclical unemployment reached the stage of 32%. I think that was the exact number, or maybe it was just in the low 30s, but 30-something% of our country was cyclically unemployed. The only way that we got out of that, there were two ways, is that the government got involved and stopped. They started to hire people through the New Deal and the public works projects, and the TVA started to hire people, giving them money, which meant that they had money, but the deal was they had to spend it. Which led to higher profits, which meant that they needed to hire more workers, which meant that people were not, that they had money to spend, okay, and meant that the consumers spent more profit, and it kind of started going, put the brakes on and started going back up. The other way, obviously, that really got us out was the production needed for World War II.